What is up, you guys? It's Rob here. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope you guys had a good one. Market wasn't exactly our best friend today. I mean, we did finish in the red today with GameStop. We did finish above a good support, which is good for it. We did test that support too, and we did validate that level of support, which is also good. But before we dive in and cover the charts on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you ring that bell. All right, let's hop on over here and cover GameStop for today. So we finished the day at 159.48, down 0.78%, about $1.25 on the day. So the huge thing to take a look at here is we had this weird, like, I don't even know how to describe this. Like, the only thing I can think of is this is like a giant George W, because we have a bottom, and then we have a bottom here. And then this should be normally followed by a very bullish move to the upside. But instead of making a bullish move to the upside, we apparently sold down. And I think this has to deal with the shorts. So keep that in mind. So really the huge thing to highlight here is we hit a high of 165. So we did break above that 164 support for a little bit that we had here. Let's drop this line in here. So we did break above it. We tried to do a little bit of consolidation above it, and then we broke back down below it. And we had a second peak that was retesting essentially 163 here. We got rejected off of it, and then we tested it again, and then got rejected and sold off eventually sold off in the close. We had our intraday low here of 158, and then had a rally, and then a little tiny sell off. But the huge thing is we did finish above 158, which is a good sign for the stock overall. We did finish after hours at 159.47, so we're down a penny, but it's not really a huge deal. The next thing I really want to highlight is this MACD down here. A lot of our moves today were definitely a little bit on the volatile side, especially this run up. This was definitely a very volatile move followed by a falling of it down. So not really the best thing for IV. It's okay, but the huge thing is when we take a look at our 5-day chart, we can see here on the 3rd, we had, which was Monday, we essentially had a huge sell-off. And then yesterday we had the dip, and then we had a nice rally into the close, which pretty much the broader overall market did was we had a nice rally into the close. Today was essentially, I'm gonna call it very loosely, and I'm gonna say very loosely because we technically didn't do it. It was like a day of consolidation. We pretty much traded just flat on the whole entire day. We did have a couple periods of consolidation, which was nice, because it did cool down this MACD down here. Our RSI is sitting at 41.33. Keep in mind, the RSI is on a scale of 0 to 100, so anything between 0 and 30 is typically said as oversold. Between 30 and 70 is the normal channel, and anything 70 and above is 70 to 100 is considered overbought. So just keep that in mind. But the huge thing that I want to really highlight here is just hop out to our 1-month time frame. We're still respecting this greater overall trend line. We're getting pretty close to touching it here, but we did find support at 158. The next thing that I'm really looking for is for us to really just make a move to the upside. Now, it's going to be really hard for GameStop to make a move to the upside because right now the overall market is definitely very froggy. And I'm going to say like slightly hungover. It just doesn't know what it wants to do. It doesn't feel good. And on top of that, we have the shorts just hammering us down and trying to keep the stock as low as it possibly can. So we have two things really fighting against us. However, if we can get a really nice green day, I would like to see us test 164 and instead of getting rejected by it, claim it as support and then not see the underside of 164 again. I think that would definitely be huge. We also have to keep in mind that there was a huge bombshell dropped about AMC today. And I definitely think if one of these stocks starts to squeeze or really the shorts really start feeling the pressure in one of them, I think it's going to cause a cascading effect across all of these meme stocks. So GameStop, BlackBerry, Noke, Naked, COS, AMC, like all of these stocks, I think it's just going to cause a cascading effect. And I think that's what we're probably going to see leading into the squeeze is one of them start getting really, really close, and then we start seeing all of them follow behind. Because that was definitely how the trend was back in January when if you can remember that. Feels like it years ago, but the huge thing to highlight here is the signal is above the MACD, so we technically are in bearish territory. doesn't really surprise me because we did essentially sell off very majorly here on Monday. And then we did have the dip yesterday with a nice rally. We do have the 200-day moving average crossing over the 60-day moving average, which is technically, yes, another bearish indicator, but keep in mind, these stocks can literally just flip on a dime and go from bearish to bullish if buying pressure steps in. And I don't want to say that buying pressure is going to start stepping in soon, but I think there's going to be a few things going on here that are definitely going to start causing buying pressure to step in. The huge thing is we're sitting here at 40.33 on the RSI, so we're definitely sitting below neutral, and we're headed towards, we got the little downtick here towards oversold. So we're slowly moving in that direction. When I take a look here, each time that we've had this kind of like downtick, essentially, we've had a nice little rally back up to put us into more of a neutral RSI. So it definitely is possible tomorrow that we could see either a rally during the pre-market, because we tend to rally during the pre-market, and then during the day is when the shorts come in and just essentially slam the stock down on us. So, but the huge thing I also want to hop in and talk about is essentially we had our first squeeze back here in January, and then we had a run up here in March. And then we have essentially consolidated to the downside roughly. And we still have this ascending level of support here. And we're respecting this ascending level of support. So the thing that I'm going to be looking for is us to continue respecting this ascending level of support. If we can continue to do that, we're still headed in the right direction. Yes, it is very slowly. However, we are still headed in the right direction overall. If we break this ascending level of support, then that's when I'm going to be a little bit concerned because we're headed the wrong direction. So taking a look at the RSI, we're sitting at 47.12. Keep in mind, this is a day time frame. We zoom down here and take a look at the MACD. We do have a bearish MACD now on the day time frame, but once again, keep in mind, we can literally just flip right on a dime and go bullish to the upside. So there's a lot of factors here that are going to be playing out in the next couple of weeks that I definitely think could help us move to the upside. But overall for tomorrow, the huge thing that I want to see us do is test 164 to the upside. If we can test 164 and gain 164, and then we get a lot of bullish momentum in us, I would be looking at 172 at that point. And if we can get 172, then we're back in that channel that we've been trading in for essentially the longest period of time since the sell-off here of the major squeeze. The second mini, I don't want to say major squeeze, mini squeeze, essentially. So that's the huge thing that I'm going to be looking for. To the downside, if I'm going to be looking at anything, I'm going to be looking at 150 is the next line of support, because that will be our line where we'll probably bounce off of. We could bounce off of 158, but if with the short supply and pressure, and if the broader market is definitely very froggy, then it's definitely going to be a different kind of situation. But that's really what I think is going to be happening tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, drop it down in the comments section. But let's go over the short interest on Gamestop here. So overall for the day, we saw a decrease in our short interest change of 0.61%. So if we highlight here our short interest or free float, and then take a look at our shares on loan, our shares on loans is sitting pretty much flat right now, and our short interest or free float is sitting at 23.42, and we have, yesterday it was sitting at 23.56. So did that just change? I think it did. Anyways, our current estimated short interest is 11.87 million shares. Last reported as of April 15th was 11.11 million shares. Our days to cover is sitting at 0.59. Cost to borrow is sitting at 1.27. And then our utilization is sitting at 59.18%. So we did see a little bit of a drop in our utilization, which is perfectly fine. It's not a significant drop. But really the huge thing they say here is our short interest or free float is still sitting at above 20%. So this absolutely still can squeeze. And given the news, well, not really the news of AMC, but given the Twitter information that we were provided from Adam Aaron today, which was like a little bit of a sprinkle for us, definitely is going to be an interesting day tomorrow. So I think what we really need to do is keep our eyes on all of these quote unquote meme stocks, because I think we're going to see something happen within the next couple of weeks. We do also have to keep in mind that NSCC 801 was passed today and approved. So yay, that's definitely going to help us more towards the squeeze. So keep that in mind too. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell too, because I drop a video on GameStop and AMC pretty much just about any day. If you guys have any questions, comment sections down below. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.